Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Spencer.
And I'm Keira, and today we're going to be breaking down Formula One with F1 news, race breakdowns, and bold takes. Let's go.
So we're back again talking about the Miami Grand Prix, and after almost a month of no racing, we have a lot to unpack. So let's get into it, starting with sprint qualifying. We have the usual suspects at the bottom, except Liam Lawson too. We have the two Aston Martins, we have the two Cadillacs, but then we have a Haas and Ocon, and then Liam Lawson in the V car. What do we think about that?
Yeah, I think V car, they were a bit stronger, honestly, in the first two races, and now they're kind of dropping off.
Definitely.
I think with the Haas boys, it's either one or the other, but I definitely didn't expect a Haas to probably be out in Q1, probably Q2, but not a shocker for Cadillac and Aston Martin. We actually have yet to see a Williams out in this sprint qualifying, so yay for them. Because typically Williams is also part of the mix, but...
Well, they're not that far down compared to everybody else.
No.
Those bottom two teams, they seem to actually have gotten some pace since these brake changes and after the break and made some adjustments. However, they both had a quick SQ2 exit.
Yeah.
And then we have reliability issues with one of the Audis.
It always seems like it's one or the other when it comes to Audi reliability issues. So that's definitely an issue that Audi needs to get on top of, because then or else I think that they'll honestly maybe be able to challenge Haas and Alpine.
Yeah, there's definitely, if they had some consistency about them, they could definitely be fighting for these positions, these points, especially they're getting the bottom of the barrel points, trying to scrape up, and they're just not able to get it with these cars, not even being able to finish qualifying, much less sprint races or races.
Yep. So we saw Lando P1, which honestly, I think everyone kind of expected some improvement in the teams, obviously, with a whole month off. But I honestly did not expect McLaren to even be fighting for pole. I think everyone probably still expected Mercedes to still be up there. And yeah, they are with Kimi. George seemed to struggle a little bit in Miami. But the McLarens definitely took a step forward. Ferrari, I don't know. I feel like they've kind of stayed the same. But yeah, we had Lando P1, Kimi P2, Oscar P3, Charles P4, Max P5. There actually has been a little bit of improvement with the Red Bull, specifically Max. Isaac isn't too far off, but he seems to always kind of be in the bottom of the 10, P9. So maybe he'll get more comfortable, not sure. But Max seems to have made some improvements himself. And then we had George P6, definitely expected better from him. Lewis P7, also kind of expected better from him. And then we had Franco P8, Isaac P9, Pierre P10. So the Alpines, they're making it into Q3, SQ3. They're doing a very good job. Definitely, they're the head of the midfield right now.
Yeah, to see the massive gains from McLaren, and then obviously this track wasn't George's forte, but for Lando to actually break was it our Kimi podium streak, or a pole streak, or the Mercedes pole streak? Because I think
maybe the Mercedes.
I think so too, but
George had the first race.
Potentially, memory's not the best, but Lando's the first one to kind of break into that and finally get pole.
Because it literally has just been Mercedes the entire time until now.
We've only been talking about Mercedes dominance, and finally we actually have, first of all, a battle for first.
And a different team.
And, Ferrari actually, they brought the Macarena wing. I don't know why they call it that. They should just call it, I don't have a better name. Let me workshop it. But the Macarena is just silly, bro. This ain't a dance move. This is just anyway.
Honestly, I don't know how much it's helping them, but...
It seems like compared to the other top three teams or top four, the movement has been pretty stagnant. They've had over a month, and there's not a whole lot of motion except, we're just going to do this different wing that we tried out in testing. Yeah. And then to see Alpine, consistently scrape up those positions in the bottom of SQ3, compared to any other midfield team, you can see their dominance. Yeah,
for sure. Which is honestly crazy considering last year they literally finished the Constructors P10. I also think their switch to a Mercedes engine has definitely helped them, but they have improved a lot. Honestly, if you asked me going into this season, if Alpine were going to be the top of the midfield, I would have said no. Honestly, I expected Williams or maybe Aston Martin, but No.
You know, like we said, new regs are always going to switch up everything and flip everything on its head with this
Exactly.
Mercedes dominance, Alpine in the midfield. I mean, but I will say McLaren has definitely had that comeback. Even Keira spoke on this about their ability to adapt a car,
develop,
and just really bring it into race form throughout the season. And we see it now after just a month. Who knows what's going to happen after 3 weeks when we go to Canada?
Yeah, who knows? Because I guarantee you teams are going to continue bringing upgrades. Pretty sure Ferrari and McLaren will, for sure. So now we have the sprint race. Honestly, it wasn't crazy, not too entertaining, but Nico did not start the sprint race because his car lit on fire during a recon lap. So once again, Audi having reliability issues. And then Arvid Lindblad did not start the race either due to a technical issue. So we had 2 people not starting the sprint race. But Kimi, he had a bad start. Again, he definitely needs to improve on his starts. It seems to be a continuous issue for Kimi. But I think honestly, if he gets his starts like dialed down and perfect, I really think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the pace that he's carrying, especially the track that he showed dominance compared to George. If he had just locked in on that pace, it would have really been great for him.
I honestly think he's the stronger Mercedes out of the 2 right now. Because he has...
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Well, I mean, based on points, I agree with you.
like, so George, he only won the first race, and now, well, we'll get into the actual race in Miami, but that was Kimi's 3rd win in a row.
We got to stop him, Ferraris. We got to stop him. Anybody, stop him.
Well, McLaren went P1, P2 in the sprint. Lando was P1, Oscar P2, Charles P3, so that's not horrible, finally. The Mercs were P4, being Kimi, P5, George, Max P6. He started P5, so he went down a position, but it's better from, I would say, the month prior.
Definitely, most definitely.
Just little wins.
I mean, a McLaren P1 in the sprint, that's something really to smile about.
Yeah.
I mean,
I expected maybe I knew that they were going to develop their car. I expected maybe like a P3, P4. I did not expect them to be fighting for a win. But good for them.
Definitely.
And then Lewis was P7. Once again, I expected it a little bit better from Lewis, but I don't know what his issue is, but...
Yeah, I feel like it's the same kind of Kimi-George dynamic. You have Charles and Lewis, you have the younger driver outperforming the older driver, and at a certain point, you understand. Kimi obviously doesn't have the experience that Lewis has.
Or even George.
Yeah, so the comparison is a little bit different in that respect.
It's only Kimi's 2nd year, everyone.
Right. But the pace difference, when you look at Charles to Lewis, when you look at Kimi to George, what's going on?
Even Max to Isaac.
Yeah. There's definitely these massive gaps that these second drivers are just missing out on. So it makes you think, driver swap, silly season. You wonder if you put some of these other guys, you switch them up on teams, what could really happen? Yeah. And everybody wanted to see Lewis in red, and it's not exactly going the way we all thought it would be.
Yeah, I don't think it's going the way he thought it would be either, to be honest.
No.
But
he needs to get out of Coachella. He needs to stay away from Coachella.
Stay away from Kim, please.
Mm-hmm. Back to the sprint, though.
Yeah. I honestly think, Pierre was P8, Isaac was P9 once again, Franco P10. Honestly, I think the only 2 teams right now that have some consistency with both drivers are Alpine and McLaren.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. There's definitely just
in the top 10.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of disparities, but even Alpine, Colapinto, especially in the race, he really came through.
Yeah, he definitely found his rhythm this race.
And, Pierre, obviously he had his crash. We'll get into that. But he was still running in P10. They were definitely looking at a double points finish, potentially, especially with all the crashes, which we'll also get into. Excuse me for spoiling.
Yeah.
But they're definitely doing a great job. V-carb, like Keira was saying, it's the fall off.
Yep, they've literally fallen off.
Yeah, this is rough. We really, we had big expectations for them, and then all of a sudden, they're really just wacky. They're still fighting, but they're just in those, 11, 12, 13, 14th, fighting with the Haas.
Yeah.
They're not as competitive as they once looked. And we just wonder, all these teams like McLaren and Mercedes are making these large strides and these massive gaps in racing, they're not doing enough in their development, and it shows.
Exactly. And Haas isn't really competitive either compared to the Alpines. I would say, honestly, Haas and Audi are I think it probably is Alpine, then Haas, then Audi, just because Audi keeps having reliability issues, and it's always one that has a problem, where Haas, it's both of them are right there, but they're not competing and fighting against the Alpines.
Yeah. If they could just put out these fires, literally and figuratively and technically, they could put together a strong car. It seems like they could at least, but.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then once again, Cadillac, Aston Martin, Williams, there are bottom teams. Williams has seemed to make a tiny bit of improvement since the break, but Cadillac and Aston Martin are still in the dumps. But also Cadillac, it's their first year, cut them some slack.
And
Aston Martin is just fully embarrassing.
They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. Even though they did finish the Miami race. Yes, once again, spoiler, but they did, actually.
They actually finished the Grand Prix. They didn't crash, have a technical failure, or just decide, hey, we're going to use this race as testing.
I mean, they still probably could have potentially used it as testing. I think this whole season is testing.
Yeah, it's in the bin, as they would say it up in their factory in the UK, wherever. But that's the sprint.
Yeah, not too entertaining.
No, not really. There's no pit stops, nothing crazy, no crashes, no. Was there any safety cars even? I don't even think so.
Oh. Okay, so now we have qualifying, which was a little bit interesting. So out in Q1, we had Arvid Lindblad, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, Checo Perez, and Gabriel Bortoleto. Once again, our usual contenders, the Aston Martins and Cadillacs, but we had a V-carb out. And then Bortoleto's brakes caught on fire. Once again, Audi reliability issue seems to be a common theme. It's either going to get Nico or Gabriel at this point.
They got to put out these fires for real. This is rough.
Yeah.
But
so
Oscar was almost out in Q1.
He was in Q1.
Though. I mean,
he was literally right there.
As a McLaren fan, I know y'all was on the edge of y'all's seat, just so worried about your nonchalant queen going out. But yeah, for real.
And then we had Nico, Liam, Ollie, Carlos, Esteban, and Alex out in Q2. I don't think anyone's that surprised.
No. So the other V-carb, the other Audi.
Both Haas.
And both
Williams. Honestly, this is once again Williams taking a bit of a step forward.
Yeah.
Typically, we would see both Williams out in Q1. But now they've made it to Q2.
So slow motion is still motion.
It's small improvements.
Mm-hmm. But then moving on to Q3 with Kimi getting P1, which are we shocked?
No.
Not really. But Max, last across the line, nobody improved. He puts in a blinder, P2. I mean, we know that he's got that potential even in a car that's not the fastest. To put up one of the fastest laps.
It's because it's Max Verstappen.
It is, yeah. He's going to extract every thousandth of a second he can, and we see it on the timetables.
He literally said at one point, I don't know what interview it was, but he was like, if I'm given like a little trolley or like a shopping cart,
that's right.
I'm going to drive it to as fast as that shopping cart will go. And honestly, that's very true when it comes to Max. So he's kind of figured things out. So that's good for him. Charles, P3.
Not
good.
Terrible,
Yeah, it's not
podium.
bad.
It's podium. We're happy for you, boy.
And then Lando P4 and Oscar was P7. Honestly, expected a little bit better from the McLaren boys, coming from sprint qualifying and the sprint being 1-2. But there was that. Lewis, once again, seems to be struggling. P6. George, same P5. I would not say great for either of them this weekend.
Yeah, no, the old lions of each team. I mean, they really just did not come into form this weekend. It was the young bucks out here, if you consider Charles young, which he really isn't. But and at least in F1, he isn't. But you have the younger driver out here outperforming the older, and it's just sad to see. But then the same order for the sprint qualifying we had for the actual qualifying.
Well, for the sprint.
Oh, for the sprint, excuse me, yeah, with Franco P8, Isaac P9, and Pierre P10. Which again, Audi's scraping up. I know it's not points on the line.
Well, yeah, no, it was the same as sprint qualifying.
Like I was saying, the Audis scraping up those bottom positions, a.k.a. top of the midfield. Isaac, he is getting that.
Alpines?
Alpine, excuse me. What did I say?
Audi.
Oh.
But yeah, once again, we see Isaac. He's still in Q3, but he's not where Max is. And great job for the Alpines. They're also pretty consistent. Bottom of Q3, but it's good for them.
I mean, they are cooking.
They are cooking, I will say.
Let's let them cook, So now we got the race, what we've all been looking forward to for damn near over a month.
And it was spicy.
It was absolutely spicy. We were not disappointed whatsoever. So first of all, turn one, we got almost three going into turn one with Max, Kimi, and Charles. Both Kimi and Max lock up. Charles kind of sneaks through the middle. Kimi runs
goes wide, yeah.
And then Max over here on the dirty side of the track, no traction. Just doing 360s for fun, you know, in the front of the pack, just doing 360s.
He's honestly very lucky that no one crashed into him.
Yeah, because he's totally screwed up Lewis. I mean, Lewis is right there. He could have made a shot for P4, he was making a shot for P4, P3, but then Max is over here just sideways on the track, just having fun like this is Formula Drift, you know, blocking the homeboy from getting through. Like, bro, this is the wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
You know?
So he drops to 9th, and then.
But Charles takes the lead, though.
Yeah, Charles did take the lead.
So
Max
let's
drops
go.
to 9th, cooks his tires from doing his little 360 shenanigans, and then he dropped to P16.
So then, of course, Lewis is over here fighting the leaders of the midfield. He's making contact with Franco in turn 11.
Probably caused some damage, honestly.
Okay, but anyway, Isaac then crashed. It was his own fault.
It was his own fault.
He was so mad. He's over here on the radio just banging himself in the head.
Yeah.
But he just clipped way too much of the curb and slammed into the barrier. Suspension gone. His race is cooked.
And then we have safety car, of course.
Well, almost simultaneously.
Yeah, literally.
We have Liam on the inside clipping Pierre, and Pierre's over here just doing a barrel roll into the barrier.
Yeah, literally.
And this is, a safety car for both of these incidents at the same time, pretty much. But just before the safety car got called, Lando sneaks his way past Kimi into P2. So, good stuff, Lando,
So now we have Pierre out of the race, Isaac out of the race, and then Liam actually ended up having to retire because of
the damage to his car.
I think he had a gearbox issue.
And then Hulkenberg also retired. I swear.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Nico retired. He didn't have to do an engine issue.
And all four of these cars So Nico did end up DNFing, and so all four of these cars are out roughly around the same time, lap 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And so now it becomes, a 19 horse race? 19 horses, yeah. Everybody's fighting now, and everybody's getting bunched up, of course. So we have all our leaders. We're basically having rolling race restart with Charles leading the pack. And, of course, he's the guy with the least amount of pace between him, Lando, and Kimi, unfortunately. So then Lando ends up taking the lead on lap 13 in that three-way kind of chase race between Charles and Kimi.
Yep.
Which is just, I mean.
It's yay!
Yeah, she's over here screaming for joy.
Look, it's like you're wearing McLaren.
Nah, this is Nismo, all right? Nissan Nismo.
Yeah, but it's like McLaren colors, you know what I mean?
I'm never wearing this hat again, yo. This hat, it's not even going in the trash. It's getting burned, yo.
See, look at it. Just turn to the side.
I apologize.
Look. See?
I apologize to everybody.
See,
I'm so sorry.
It's the orange, black, and white.
I should have
known
better. I'm really sorry. So Lando's over here, takes the lead.
Yes.
And then both Ferraris have horrible pit stops. 3.7 seconds for Charles and 3.8 for Lewis. Charles's pit stop was so bad, he got put behind George. If it was just a normal, even a 2.4 second, he would have been ahead of George. He wouldn't have had to lose race pace trying to chase him down and pass him. I mean, it screwed up his race. It probably even screwed up his race in the end. Like, if they had just done that pit stop better, he would not have been in that position where he was getting chased down at the very end of the race.
Yep. And that's where I guess it shows how important pit stops are.
Like, just a second and a half would have made the difference right there. A normal pit stop, like everybody else is hitting, 2.2, 2.4, 2.5.
2.8.
2.8. Yeah. Just a second changed his race completely.
Yep. And Lando, honestly, looking back on it, when Kimi pitted, probably Lando should have pitted as well, because when Lando went to pit, Kimi pitted before him, Lando went to pit, and then Kimi came out before Lando. Granted, their pit stop wasn't bad. I think it was like 2.8 seconds for Lando, but once again, I think that ruined the win for Lando.
Yeah, I mean, he lost his lead, and then he's trying to get it back. He's chasing Kimi.
Gets to 1 second.
Yeah, he was around 2 seconds for a long time. He finally gets within 1 second. Kimi's on the radio. And he's talking with a lot of urgency too. He's like, something's wrong
Like
with my
panic,
gearbox. Can't
yeah.
shift, How am I going to shift?
Just downshifts or something.
And there was real panic in his voice. It didn't sound like it was just one of those ploys where sometimes teams were trying to throw other teams off. But
Maybe Kimmy's just a great actor.
so you're telling me he's the youngest 3-time F1 winner. He's also should be in Hollywood.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Well,
he
that's
isn't
what-
Italian, and they're all a little theatrical, dramatic,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, I feel you. Because
Exactly.
it did force Lando to use a lot of battery when he was within 1 second trying to chase, thinking, I have an opportunity now. Then once he runs out of battery, Kimmy's over here just flooring it, stretching the gap to 2 seconds plus. And then at that point, Lando really didn't have enough pace. Even and their tires are roughly the same age. I mean, he really didn't have it in him to beat Kimmy.
Yeah. It was only 1 lap difference in their tires.
And I mean, that Mercedes dominance, you're putting him head to head, and it shows right there.
Yeah.
So in the pit stops, the strategy.
Honestly, props to Kimmy.
Props to Kim.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, a lot of people like Lando at his age was way more nervous and nerdy and just weird and had even worse race starts,
Well, also McLaren was trash then too.
Excuses.
Well, it's true, they were trash.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They were in the back.
But it does just show how truly incredible Kimmy is racing right now and how humble he's also remaining. And he's not driving like a jerk.
He's such a cute little guy.
He is like a child.
He's like, oh.
He's younger than us. Like, that feels so
See, now
weird.
I feel old, Spencer.
Yeah, I feel old, okay? And I'm younger than,
You're a year younger than me.
he's like 2 years, 3 years younger than both of us. He just graduated high school.
He's 19,
He had,
soon to be 20.
he had engineers helping him with his math homework last season.
I think he wanted George to help him, but George was like, nah, buddy.
George is too much of a diva to actually help with
It's like,
schoolwork.
no.
He could write a good essay, probably. Definitely.
So then, actually, you never really think you're going to get anything too interesting on the last lap of the race, but no, we did. What
We got
happened,
a
Spencer?
banger. Of course you asked me to say this. So Charles, he's getting chased down by Oscar, and Oscar's just inching. And it gets to the point where Oscar's within 1 second for like 3 laps prior to the last lap, or two laps prior.
Eventually passes him.
So, yeah, exactly. This is where, the overtake happens. Like, once you're within that 1 second, you have about 3 laps, realistically, to get that overtake done. You have the pace it shows. Oscar overtakes him. And, Charles, smart guy, aggressive driver,
Tries to get him back.
great racer, gets a little squirrely on the gas coming out of a turn and just does another 360. So
He honestly it was this, like, I think he hit the wall a little bit.
no, he did hit the wall.
Oh, yeah, so
Most
he
definitely.
literally did hit the wall, but
So-
it wasn't bad enough to where he, like, was like Isaac in the wall.
Well, so he does a 360,
Yeah.
just 360, bumps into the wall.
Yeah, literally
but,
bumps into the wall.
These F1 cars, a little bit fragile, They're not exactly made for combat like a rally car or something. So his suspension, his turning ability is screwed. He's not able to really, turn the car on the racing line like he would normally drive. And all of a sudden, you've got, George coming up on him. You've got Max on his comeback drive of the year from P19 coming up. And Charles can't turn his car. He's got 4 or 5 corners to go. He's over here not even making it through corners.
No.
Definitely going off on track limits.
So Charles literally goes from P3 to then P6.
He had a podium halfway through that lap, and then he sold it.
Well, when
maybe not
Oscar
before,
passed
yeah.
him, then it was P4, but then he got passed by George and Max and ended up P6.
I would say that the Leclerc on board is crazy. To be able to finish the race like he did,
Yeah.
he really just, that grit and motor, he's really trying to
And
just
then,
get it across the
also,
line.
he didn't even finish P6, though. Because, he did finish P6, but then later he got a penalty for, driving in an unsafe manner because of his car being cooked, essentially.
Well, truth be told, if he had done, more laps with his car in that state, they would have just black flagged him,
Yeah.
because he couldn't turn. He couldn't drive with the rest of the cars. There was the damage was evident in the replays when you watch his onboard. He should not have been driving. He did hit George, causing George to have front wing damage and having sparks
Oh, yeah,
flying
literally.
across the
His
finish
wing
line.
is, the front part of the wing is, literally scraping the ground.
And then Max does finesse. It was a beautiful finish to watch. Max does finesse right around
there
Charles.
at the last second.
Like, good for him.
That is some Max type stuff.
But Max also did suffer a 5-second time penalty for when he was making his one pit stop to go on the hards. He was exceeding pit lane limits past the white line. So that kind of screwed him up.
But Max still stayed 5th, or no, 6th. Right?
He got 5th. He still had 5th.
Yeah, 5th.
Yeah, because he had enough gap between,
exactly.
because Charles going P6
Charles literally went to
20
P8.
seconds later. Lewis pulling up P6, and then Franco P7.
P7.
Which,
Great job from Franco again.
Yeah,
this was a very
job.
good weekend from him.
No, I mean, definitely even better than the sprint, way better than expectations, especially with Pierre out.
Yeah.
All of Alpine's focus is on him, and he really didn't let him down. He got points on the board, which is exactly what they want from a young driver like him.
Yep.
From a guy who was, the replacement, looking like another Jack Doohan, to now he's SQ3, Q3,
He's kind of
getting
with
points.
Pierre.
Yeah, he's right there next to Pierre, which is impressive coming from an experienced driver.
Yeah.
So he's definitely someone to look out for.
Yep. And then McLaren P2, P3 potentially could have been P1, P3, but if McLaren pitted when they should have, but that's okay. Still great progress from them.
Absolutely.
George P4, honestly, Kimi is doing a better job than George. Didn't really have the pace this weekend. This was not his weekend. Obviously, I guess, well, it could have been Charles's weekend, but then he pretty much got cooked. Lewis didn't have a lovely weekend, but I guess he can thank Charles for letting him be, I guess, P6.
Yeah, I mean, he did get P6 in the end, so
it's not terrible. Still
it's
points.
not horrible.
We'll take it.
But if we're thinking that's, good for Lewis, I mean, that's shameful,
Yeah.
We don't want to see him down here. We don't want to see Charles even further down. Like,
Lord.
these boys are
It
in
all
trouble.
went to the end for him in the last lap.
But then a Williams, P9, P10.
Yeah,
a
both of them.
double Williams finish. Like, obviously.
Great for them. They got in the points.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you have Pierre crashing, so that's someone out of the points.
Nico out, Isaac
Liam,
out.
yeah, you don't have as
4
much
people are
traffic in
out.
the midfield.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that probably helped for sure. But it's still great for them. It's still points. It doesn't matter how you get them. It's just you got them.
That's right. And then Haas just missing out, P11 and P13.
Yeah.
But
Gabriel also missed out on points, P12.
there can only be 10.
Yep.
And there's already the top. I mean, with Isaac crashing, there's a lot of cars that would have gotten points typically that did not. Like Isaac and Pierre. You would expect them to get points on a weekend like this, especially with the way they qualified and the way they ran the sprint.
Definitely.
So for those
That's
two to
where I
go
think
out,
Williams got a little lucky.
definitely capitalize on an entire 3 points. Like, whoa, boys.
Yep.
Guys are crazy, You're
Yep.
making it out the mud out of the bottom 3. We're proud of you.
Exactly. And then we had Arvid P14, Fernando P15, Checo P16, Lance P17, Valtteri P18. No one is surprised. It's your typical contenders.
I was surprised to see a little bit of the fight, though, between Fernando and Checo. Like,
Yeah.
Checo was definitely looking a little more racy. I think he cooked his tires a little bit. Battery management, he's an old head. Same with Fernando, They're not the quickest to adapt to ways. But it was interesting to see them actually fight and really like the dominance and just between the bottom 2 teams. But, some racing and some just racy. Just to be a little bit racy is way better than just to sit at the bottom of the totem pole. And so I was at least happy to see that for Checo.
Yeah.
And Fernando still passed him. So Aston Martin's out in front, but still good racing to see. And that was one thing actually that I really respected about this Grand Prix, that after the regulation changes and a month off, there was a lot more overtaking in terms of like the braking zones. It wasn't just like cars have so much more pace going down the straight.
Right, like just based on battery.
Yeah, it was definitely not no Formula E. We're getting closer towards like the traditional F1.
Yeah. But we like to see.
Yeah, we're still not there entirely.
But you know what? Slight improvements.
Yeah, definitely a
It
slight
was way
improvement.
more entertaining, I would say, than the prior 3.
Most definitely. I mean, to see fight drivers to fight other drivers in corners and not just have rapid pace differences.
Yeah.
Like there was that whole 90-kilometer issue. Like that.
I think the Ollie crash was definitely an eye-opener.
Definitely an eye-opener. Like even in terms of driver safety, it's just really not okay. And I'm sure they raised these points. And with the regulations kind of dumbing down or reducing the energy power,
Exactly.
definitely bringing a little more of a safer playing field for all our favorite drivers. So now, moving on to bold predictions, I actually did all right, for once. Keira did not outscore me.
We tied.
We did tie, though. I got 3 points for Kimmy being on pole. I guessed that right. And I got 1 point for Oscar also being on the podium, but not in the correct position. 4 points in total, a new total of 10 points.
Yep. And then I got 1 point for Kimmy, and then 3 points for Oscar because I got him right in position. And then I had 4 points total and my new final total of 19 points.
We're getting there, y'all.
So we're 9 points difference.
We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. It's a long season. They even added another race to the calendar, There's a lot more predictions to come.
Exactly. So.
Speaking of predictions.
Yes.
We didn't even. Oh man, we did reveal to each other our predictions beforehand, but not before we wrote them out without the other knowing. I'm pretty sure we both went in the same order, so this doesn't change much. But
No.
Kimmy P1,
Yep.
dominance. We both said that. George P2. It's a colder track. Mercedes typically does better at colder tracks.
Yeah, I think they'll do fine.
And the tire management, they definitely, especially with the dominance that they've had in this pace, they definitely. It's feeling like a George P2.
Yeah, for sure.
It's feeling like a comeback after Miami. Yeah. And then Lando P3.
Yep.
Of the two McLarens, definitely the second fastest team. He's showing more pace than Oscar, which is good to see your world champion actually doing well. His name has not been called on really all season until this weekend.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's names have been called on and besides the Mercedes.
And the Ferraris battling back and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have finally,
someone else.
The winners, the constructors winner, the drivers champion winners, stepping up to the table, which is nice to see.
It is nice to see. And then from the midfield, who I expect to probably get points, of course, Alpine, they're doing a very good job. And hopefully Haas.
Yeah, I even think Williams could have a chance. They looked a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
James Vowles, he's got a great mind about him. I think that they can definitely make some improvements and advancements. And especially after seeing the success in Miami, even though it's just 3 points and there were crashes.
And they did get a little bit lucky.
They got lucky.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Williams can really pull something off,
It'd be
From
nice to see.
P5 to, P10 or P9 really in the constructors now to get some points on the board.
Honestly, I think they might be
P8 maybe.
No, maybe P9.
Really? I think P9 because
It's either P8 or P9 because we all know Aston Martin and Cadillac are like the bottom two.
We know who's at the bottom.
Yeah. So I think probably P9.
Yeah. But those are our predictions.
Those are our predictions. They're not that different this week.
Sadly. Last but not least, we got our signature segment. Who's got pace, y'all?
Who's got pace?
Starting off with those who are setting the pace. They are the trendsetters. The bar is set, is made by them.
Yes.
Obviously, Mercedes.
Yeah. Specifically more Kimmy.
Yeah, Kimmy is on top right now. Lil
3
bro,
wins in a row.
he better have celebrated super hard in Miami, even though he couldn't even drink. They had to give him.
Oh yeah, he didn't have the champagne because
he had a little Martinelli, just fizzy
so
whatever.
Funny. His reaction when he realizes it's actually not champagne and Lando and Oscar have the champagne. It was so funny.
It's disappointing. Bro.
He's going over to show them.
I'd be so disappointed too. I mean, come on. But that just should tell you how young
he is. So young, yeah.
Bruh. Oh my God.
He has 2 more years till he can actually have a drink on the podium in the United States.
Man, just let the boy drink, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Exactly.
It's not like he's gonna be driving. He's got drivers galore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then I'd say also for setting the pace, McLaren. They have definitely come back, and then Alpine from the midfield.
Yeah, I mean SQ1 or SQ3, pole sitter.
Yep.
Lando Norris showing the world what the drivers champion
win.
can do. Sprint win too. So definitely, a little bit of a comeback. And Alpine, without Pierce crash, they definitely
always getting in Q3.
Always getting in Q3, and they
Unlucky.
Unlucky,
race,
not everybody can be lucky, but
yeah,
they still definitely have the most pace in the midfield.
Exactly.
Moving on to who's chasing the pace, who's right behind the benchmark. I would definitely say, you could even argue, McLaren is right behind, but really Ferrari and Max specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, Max over here getting P2 in qualifying, crazy. No one else improved. Even with a track that was kind of geared towards track evolution.
Yeah.
No one else improved but him. So that just, obviously, he still got it, y'all. He might leave when GP leaves, but he still got it for now.
He's got a couple more years.
We got to watch out, though.
Yeah.
He's still on contract. And then Ferrari, of course, they're obviously not down here with Isaac or nothing, but they're kind of just
there.
Filler.
Yeah.
It's like an anime or a TV show, and you're just watching it, and you're enjoying the main storyline, and then you just have this one episode where you're like, man, This has nothing to do with anything that was actually important. What is this? It's filler. Ferrari is a filler right now. Like, what are we doing, y'all? Can we at least get the pit stops right? Like, come on. They are literally lost the pace in pit stops. Like, you need to fire all those Italians, get some Germans, get some UK people. Like, just get some people from the US, get some everybody's, you know? Just get some new people. How hard can it be? Apparently difficult.
Apparently. But then from the midfield, we have Haas and Williams. Williams obviously is definitely making improvements. Finally, they are out of losing the pace.
That's right.
Good job,
Proud
Williams.
of y'all. Proud of y'all.
Yeah. So then who's lost the pace and therefore needs to pray for grace? Audi, Cadillac, and Aston Martin. Audi, I would say, because of their reliability issues. If they can get on top of that, I think they'll be back to chasing the pace. But their reliability issues are honestly what's screwing them right now.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue, you know, they're chasing, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. If your grandma had wheels, bicycle, you know, all that. They're not there, reliability-wise. If they were there, they would be competitive.
Exactly.
They're not.
They're not.
And, I mean, it was really cool to see, you know, Bortoletto, he was getting into Q3 and things like that, but they just can't put the full car together for an entire race weekend.
Exactly.
Or even both cars, for that matter.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
And then, of course, the usual suspects.
Cadillac and Aston Martin.
Hopefully, one of these days, we could see Cadillac maybe and chase the pace, you know?
I honestly have zero hope for Aston Martin.
Yeah, no. I hope.
They're cooked. It's embarrassing. I honestly don't think I'd want to be a part of that team.
Never. I mean, the green is the ugliest color out there.
It is.
Out of any of them, it's the ugliest color. And V-Carb had yellow this weekend, which was ooh.
I didn't really like it. Like literally, how they revealed their livery was on a yacht on the boat with DJ Khaled literally on the boat.
You just know, I mean, you can
That's
see.
how doing the most.
You can see the mechanics just like nervously, just kind of like side-eye him, like.
It
Who
was
is this
so
dude?
ugly. I really didn't like the color, but you know, it looks like someone just put a bunch of like mustard on the car.
Mustard.
No.
Yeah. You know that Kendrick song?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well.
do know the song, but with the no.
You make 6-7 jokes. Don't even get me started.
No, I
bro.
don't.
Like she stopped last 2 weeks. All right, y'all. Let's not go crazy. Anyway, that's it for episode 7 of Chase the Pace podcast.
In our next episode, we'll look to Montreal, Canada for the 5th race.
Ooh, I'm not a big fan of Canada, y'all. Personally, I'm
The
more-
track or just the place?
the place.
Oh.
Just random fact, you know. If you ever heard of a Toronto accent, look it up. It is the most disgusting accent you will ever listen to.
Oh my god.
Anyway, please check out all our socials. You know, we got YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, everything going crazy.
Check
They're
it all below.
all below. Until next time, I'm Spencer,
And I'm Keira.
and this has been Chase the Pace.